all have to be on the same page.
Yep. Well, and I think, and again, this is one of the mutual things you and I connected with years ago is, there's a lot of stereotypes in the trades and the construction world, right? Whether it's roofing, whether it's painting, everybody has a perception of like a painter, a roofer, and et cetera, right? And when we can position ourselves and our business in a different light, hence business owner mentality first, it really catches people off guard in a good way, right?
Exactly.
And you guys establish yourself as somebody that solves problems for people and helps take care of their homes and proactively adds value to them. That's much different than most roofers that like show up, deal with your insurance, and like skip on to the next town where the next storm is.
Right.
And no, I'm not saying any offense to people that do that, but maybe read Building a Storybrand might help. But again, it's like you said, it's that culture shift even, right? Aside from the results you've probably gotten, the more clients and jobs you've got because you changed your messaging that relates with people, but it's the culture shift in your company, which is cool.
And it helped me as the owner to lead the business and the leaders and to because it had to start with me.
That's cool.
Because we offer multiple exterior services, and this was a big struggle for me. That's how I stumbled across Storybrand. It's like, how do I say that I am a roofer? I do roof repairs, I do siding, I do house washing, roof washing, gutters, gutter guards. How do I bring all that together? Do I have a piece of literature and information for each and every one? I can't tell you how many times where I've had a homeowner say, "Oh, well, I hired you for this, but I didn't know you did that."
Right.
So I struggled with that and how to communicate that. So the Storybrand helped me get away from the fact of like, "Oh, I'm a roofer," but I went to the point of communicating like, look, we are roofers. We replace your roofs, but we also are very good at communicating. We follow through with our promises. We show up on time. We call our customers 30 days, 90 days, 1 year after the fact when they do business with us to make sure everything's still good. So, that's our brand, and that's how we try to portray that to people.
Yep.
Like if you, and we focus on the important things, like for example, if you go to a doctor, you don't just, if you're standing there and you're in the waiting room, you don't just look at their diploma. I mean, how many of us really looked at a doctor's diploma and decided like, oh, you went to that college? Then I'm sorry, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, not important,
exactly,
unless it's
matter.
A veterinary.
You're
like, well, I'm in the wrong place here. Well, I wonder why all these dogs were around here.
Yeah, I know.
But the point is, you focus on not yourself, but you just focus on the problems.
No, that's good. And I think that's a big thing is, credentials don't really matter these days. Like, people don't care.
It has its place.
Yeah, it does. It does. And there's a point. You guys are a licensed roofer. That's a good thing.
You
pass that out there, right?
Exactly.
Different industries have different regulations, especially in certain states. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you went to college. I'm not kidding. I can't tell you how many people, we'd be there trying to help them pick out colors or doing something when I had my painting company, and they're like, "Well, you're the one that went to paint school," and I'm like, huh? Like, paint school? You like what? Like,
that's right.
And then after it probably happened at least 10 times. After the second time, I was like, oh yeah, I certainly did, and got my BS in paint school. Like, what are you talking about? So it doesn't matter, right? Like, but it's when you can solve a problem and you can build trust with a customer and they believe in you. Essentially when you go to an estimate, you're selling yourself, right? You're selling the company, but your salesman is selling himself.
Right.
You're selling yourself, and so it's establishing that trust that you can solve their problems.
And we have the authority because obviously we have the experience. We're the licensed, roofer, but
absolutely.